Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. We are so grateful to have you here. Thanks for being here, Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, our relatives out there in the world. Thank you for joining us today. We do this to share some of the teachings that you have been given and earned and developed over the years, and me too, just a couple of them. Anyways, yeah, thank you to our ancestors that brought us here today, and all of the wisdom teachings that we've been given and that we can share with you, and offer that of whatever service it can be in the world. So, Dad, you want to start us off with an official prayer?
An official one. Let me put on my official tuxedo and
excellent. Thank you.
Cummerbund and make sure my hair is brushed, teeth are brushed and clean. And okay, formal. Great Spirit, I'm formally addressing you as the creation you've made and the work I've done with it to this degree of evolution, with plenty more to go. With gratitude for giving me and all of us this breath of you to be in this wondrous, amazing world that you've created of nature, such diversity and form and color and shape, and the beauty of your creation and a human incarnation. Thank you. And thank you, as Kimmy said, for our ancestors, the ancestor spirits of the land we live on. We remember you here and honor your people. And thank you for family, community, and the opportunity that you give us being alive right now with the use of technology and Kimberly's vision to do these Shamanic Sundays, the opportunity to join our hearts and minds and spirits in one focus of attention, with intention to open ourselves to your presence, to juice our energy batteries and polish up our stardust so we can shine more brightly the healing light and love, wisdom, guidance, beauty, creativity you breathe into us with every breath, gifts of grace on this day that we're alive for healing at the sacred hoop. May it be so. Ho!
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You often reference when we do this that it was my idea, and I want to clarify a little bit about that because I don't have the totally same recollection as we humans often do, remember things differently. I mean, part of it was my idea, but you, me, Mom, and Nicole were sitting around talking, and there was some sadness about not being physically in the same community that you and Mom have been in a long time. And also some reminiscing about during COVID using the Zooms to connect with people all over the world, and feeling, just the need as you're getting older and reach, more people and share more and just be of service more. And so the phrase Shamanic Sundays was my idea, but the concept wasn't my idea. It's my recollection, for what it's worth.
Well, it's worth it that you believe in it, and that's your reality, and may it be so, and so it was. Here we are. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm moving on. So let's see. Today's subject that we're exploring and talking about is joy. And we did not get a request for this today, but I woke up feeling relatively grumpy and not joyful. And I remembered the phrase that a colleague of mine actually shared years back when she was going through some rough times in a relationship and with her family. And she said, sometimes you have to just mine for joy. And she is definitely good at that, finding joy. My sister's middle name is Ananda, which is, you can share. Why'd you give her the middle name of Ananda?
It's a Sanskrit word. It means joy. And as with you, when both of you girls were in the womb there and getting ready to come out, I asked your spirits what your names were. And Krishna for you and Ananda for her as middle names. And Krishna was on the battlefield with bringing wisdom guidance to Arjuna at a challenging time in Arjuna's life, and you've certainly show up to meet challenges with wisdom and guidance and love, and Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your up with spreads out into the field, the love energy.
Yeah.
You're both spiritual love warriors.
Thank you. So I wanted to explore today finding joy in challenging times. And so what are some shamanic principles that you have been taught and that you have learned over the years to find joy when you're not feeling it?
Well, first you need to honor what's true, because healing always comes from joining with the truth of what is, not necessarily what we want or wish, but so you wake up grumpy, that's what's true. So honoring the feelings, honoring your right to have whatever feelings you have, and not judge yourself or the feelings, because then there's resistance and they get stronger. You're actually feeding that state that you don't know, accepting the truth of it, and how you experience it energetically and sensually in your body, how you feel and experience that feeling of grumpiness or whatever it is, and then noticing with the gift of awareness that there may be ways, unconsciously conditioned ways, that functioning below the level of awareness, that let me just put it in myself instead of you, that I can feed grumpiness. I can always come up with data and stories to keep the feeling of grumpiness. What is grumpiness for me? Kind of negative, yucky, constricted, dark energy that I'm just kind of wallowing in, and grumpy, like little kind of short tempered, and leave me alone, or I'll throw my claws out there and scratch you or something, or maybe on a more subtle level, to stink energy. So grumpiness. So I wake up feeling that sometimes, and or depressed or despairing or angry or upset, maybe,
or all of the above.
Yeah, or whatever I just experienced in the dreaming that might have impacted me, or is just coming through the instant I'm aware that I'm awake. So facing the truth of it, giving myself permission to experience it, and then experiencing it with awareness. What does it feel like in my body? And so there's no resistance. There's just absolutely no resistance. So it doesn't need to get stronger to try to make its voice heard. I get it, which opens the doorway, as I said, to exploring what story am I telling myself about the truth of what I'm experiencing right now. Noticing that, if it feeds grumpiness or not, and if I want to shapeshift, shamanism about shape-shifting states and accessing altered states of consciousness, of reality, to be able to draw on the resources from the different levels of consciousness and intelligence that exist in the universe, and we're in it and exist in us, transdimensional beings, how to access deeper wisdom guidance than ego identity, ego stories, and that constricted, limited understanding of who we are. And so shamanic technologies, practices to open the mind and expand and deepen and raise the bandwidth of awareness, to activate some of those other channels for wisdom guidance of if I'm not enjoying my experience of grumpiness, and I'd rather experience another state of consciousness, then what can I do to change, shapeshift my state of consciousness, which I'm the only one who's responsible for. I'm responsible for my state of consciousness. So it's bringing awareness into mindful awareness into the truth, the reality that with every breath that comes in, we're given free choice about how we want to use that fuel. And most of the time, that choice is made unconsciously, and it activates the unconditional, the unconsciously conditioned programs that are based on the illusionary perception of separation, which is the root of our anxiety and fear. It gets strong enough or manipulated strong enough, turns into violence toward the perceived other, which is what we're experiencing in today's polarized world more and more. So if I notice I'd rather experience joy in this moment of being alive instead of grumpiness, it gives me opportunity to really be present with the next breath coming in, and join with that creative flow of divine wisdom coming in from the universe with the breath. And and ask myself the question, how can I use this energy to help open my state of consciousness, shape shift my state of consciousness from grumpiness to joy? And then I listen for guidance about how to do that. And when I listen, the question comes up, then the doorway's open to receive another question that says, well, is there anything in your life right now that you feel joyful about, that you're happy that exists in your life? And if it wasn't there, the quality of your life would be different, and your happiness, and therefore your joy. Happiness is a momentary state. Joy is a state of consciousness that I think is always available to us, just like deep inner peace and infinite light and love and access to creativity. These are gifts that live at the center of our being through grace always. And if we're not in touch with it, they haven't gone anywhere. The joy hasn't gone anywhere. It's still inside of me. The potential to realize a state of consciousness that's joyful is always inside of me. And if I'm not in touch with it, what have I been putting my attention into, most likely unconsciously, that creates this suffering that I'm experiencing as grumpiness, which is just an energy. It's not a free-flowing, light-filled energy. It's tight and constricted and dirty and yucky and energy, grumpiness. So I can choose to use the instrument of my mind skillfully to access a state inherent within me always, joy, by paying attention to, reflecting on what do I have to be thankful for right now? What's sweet in my life? Like the sweet medicine bowl ceremony doing medicine circles. What's the truth of what's sweet in my life like right now? And then drop down into that, reflect on that, feel into that, sense into that, see that. And just notice energetically what starts to happen in your body. Your energy starts to shift from the grumpiness to a different state. And grace grows where gratitude flows. So if you want more grace of joy in your life, see what you're doing to create the grumpiness, pull the plug on it, cut the cord, let it go, open and receive love's healing flow, and grace grows where gratitude flows. You want more grace in your life, more joy, then more gratitude. Oh.
All right. Well, we can kind of wrap up right there. You just kind of had a good stream.
Mercy.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you were saying about like where you're putting your focus and what, when you're feeling funky, punk, stink, whatever word might describe it, thinking about where you do find joy in your life is super helpful. So just to share, like this morning, I, went outside, and nature is where I always find, that sort of juice to mine for joy, so to speak, and people I love and care about. But I think really just going back to like the basic of, watching like a flower blossom or a bird, flying around, and like they're just being, right. There's no judgment from the flower or the bee or the bird of like, I'm a good bee or I'm a bad bee, or I'm a good bird or I'm a bad bird, or like my life is good or bad. And so it reminds me of, that it's like oftentimes the self-judgments that I think get in the way of joy, at least for me. Totally. I'll just speak for myself.
Totally.
Yeah. And then I think, every morning that I get to wake up, like that's such a gift. Right. And, and so it's almost like the gift of being alive, and then acknowledging whatever feelings are there, and then remembering that I really am okay, wherever we are.
That you're more than the feelings. You're not the feelings.
Right.
You're experiencing the feelings with your awareness, but you're not the feelings.
Right, totally. And so remembering that inner connection with all of the beings in the world, sentient, that we would call sentient and otherwise, that I'm part of that. Like that gives me so much joy, remembering that I'm part of that. and like also a sense of like humility almost, that's also just like reminding me I'm part of this bigger system that also then brings joy, because it's like I do matter, I do bring positive contributions to the world, and
You sure
we all
do.
do. We all do, by our very being here, breathing, like our exhale gives life and energy to other beings, and just that circularity is very empowering and joy bringing to me. So I want to plant that seed for all of you.
Oh,
So let's see. Do you want to walk us through a visualization of something around that this
well, I'm
morning?
just remembering the joy I experienced when you were born and how you stopped me in my tracks and just said, "Don't miss me." And I tuned into you and I just burst with joy. So I share that burst of joy with each of you listening live here now, and with those who are going to be listening later. Go
That
inside.
makes me think. Wait, I have to interrupt. Part of my job here um, is like thinking of when I have a son, and so when he was born, the joy of that, and like on the days that I would wake up feeling funky, tired, hormonal, especially when he was little, whatever the situation may have been, the mornings that I would wake up or something would transpire in the day that I would feel grumpy or not joyful, I would look at him and think like, I have an obligation to find joy because I want him to know how to find joy, because we know that life isn't always easy and we know there's challenges that come up. And so how do you find that? And so modeling that, and just the gift of life. And again, going back to that circle that we're all a part of, that, like, how do we each tap into that almost like obligation, I think sometimes has like a negative connotation in our world, right?
Yeah.
But what's another word for it that's more just like, oh, reciprocity, like, right? It's not an obligation, it's reciprocity, like the gift of being here. I want to give something back. The gift of being a mom, I want to give something back. The gift of being a human in this web that we're all a part of, I want to give something back. I want to be of service, and that sense of gratitude then brings joy too.
Yeah, just to go inside and reflect on, invite a memory to come up into your awareness of an experience you had that brought you joy. It might have been just a momentary uh, experience. Just came around a corner and it was real cloudy and dark and weary, and all of a sudden a burst of sunlight came through a cloud and just hit you right between the eyes, and whoa, just lit you up. So just allowing your deeper awareness to send up into your conscious awareness a memory of something, an experience you had that initiated, activated immediate joy inside of you. And then just breathing into it and seeing that energy grow and expand and grow brighter, and keep breathing into it, breathing out anything that gets in the way of that, opening more room for the next breath, empowering the flowering of that joy, and extend that energy out into all the people and situations of this day you're given to live and be a channel for that joy, helping to heal the sacred hoop as we go into this season of winter holy days. Oh.
Yeah. I think often, my mom is who popped in here a few minutes ago. She's such a harbinger of joy, and I think part of that is tied in with her ability to stay connected to like her childlike just sense of joy and wonder and being in the moment, and those are all such good reminders too, to like, you were saying about remember a moment when you were just feeling joy, and though, there's often challenges in childhood too, we all had some moments somewhere along the way where it was just like the awe of like, wow, look at that flower blooming. If you've ever taken a walk with a toddler, I know you've talked about like walking with Nicole and I down to the post office, and it was like a 10-minute walk if it was just you, but with us, it could be like 2 hours. And that can be super annoying when you're an adult trying to get somewhere. But the gift of a child that reminds you to like just bend down and look at that amazing flower and that little ant cruising by, and just like being present with them, and the all the things that had to go right for that to be happening right then and there. It's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. There's reason for joy. Oh,
Yeah. So I think that also is just another tool, is just like going back to like what we would deem in sort of the dominant culture that we live in as the simple things. Going back to the simple things of the breath that we get to take right now. Like, take a couple breaths with us.
and if you want to live life free, then you must go slowly, day by day, step by step. Simple things are holy.
Did you just make that up?
Nope.
Oh, who did?
I don't know.
Oh,
I steal
you're
from
good
everywhere.
at stealing. I know you. I often have to go. He like brings up some quote, and I'm like, "Who said that?" And then we have to go find it together.
Troublemaker.
So, all right. Well, do you have anything else you want to say this morning about joy?
Joy is always available to us in any moment of being alive, no matter what's going on. If we go deep enough, down deep enough beneath the storms and the waves, whatever the challenges might be and whatever they activate in our own reactivity, dropping down underneath it all, there at the very bottom, deep inner peace, joy, light, love, healing, wisdom, power, strength, generosity, courage, guidance about how to live this day that brings us, when we go to sleep at night, a joyful feeling that we showed up and gave this day that we're given the best shot to be the best that we could. An open, clear channel for healing, light, and love flowing through us and out to all our relations for healing of this beautiful sacred hoop of life we're gifted to be a part of. That's a joyful way to walk your heart path. Oh,
thank you. Yeah. So definitely also just reflecting on having just had this week of extra Thanksgiving in our lives, the connection between Thanksgiving and joy, giving thanks and joy too. So again, sometimes it's just starting with the little simple things and letting them marinate together until you can shift your energy.
simple things are holy.
There we go again. You're like a push button toy.
Absolutely.
Singing brings you joy, that's for sure.
Okay, it does, yes. That's why I do it.
Yeah. Shoot, I just had another thought I wanted to share. It's gone.
Maybe it had to do with row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. What kind of dream are you dreaming? Maybe all dream a peaceful, just, beautifully healthy, diverse, joyful world for all beings. Oh.
Dreaming you a beautiful week ahead and good health and many sweet moments of joy. Thank you again for being here, and a reminder that you can send questions ahead of time to tomppinkson@gmail.com, and please do like, follow, subscribe, share our work if you find it of meaning, so that we can continue to be of service and share it more.
Pre-order my book. Hey, you can pre-order my book coming out in March in conjunction with a 7-week training course on the psychedelic shaman wisdom warrior path to transformation. I'm telling you, honey, you don't want to miss this.
There you go. You heard it. The links are on his website, drtompinkson.com or newvisionofliving.org. All right. See you next time.
Bye,
Take care. Thank you. Bye, everyone.